I stand before you today, overflowing with gratitude and a burning resolve to convince you that the fastest route from where you are to where you want to be is the disciplined journey from common to valuable, from being merely present to becoming truly irreplaceable. Close your eyes for a split second and imagine a single gold coin glowing in the dust of a desert road. Now imagine a heap of pebbles lying beside it. Which catches your eye? Which stirs your desire? Which would you bend down to retrieve? The coin, of course, because value commands attention while commonness breeds invisibility. When I began my life's climb, I was broke, uneducated, and trapped in a cage of my own limiting beliefs, sweeping floors and scraping coins together for cheap meals. Yet I secretly believed that my future could be different if I could just discover the laws that govern value. I spent decades reading thousands of books, interviewing multimillionaires, studying peak performers, and experimenting on myself like a laboratory rat. And what I discovered is simple yet unforgiving. The market pays for results, society reveres contribution, and the universe opens to those who master themselves first and their craft second. Let me ask you, my friend, do you ever feel that your days are a blur of activity without advancement, that you are busy yet not building, moving yet not moving forward? If so, you have fallen into the seductive trap of availability, mistaking motion for progress, applause for achievement, popularity for power. The truth is that value is never measured by how many tasks you touch, but by how deeply you transform the few that matter. Picture a laser beam. Countless scattered rays will light a room, but one concentrated beam can cut through steel. Your goal is to become that beam. First, let us carve the pillar of crystal clarity. Success begins the instant you decide exactly what you want, why you want it, when you will have it, and what you will sacrifice to achieve it. I learned early that vague hopes produce vague results. A goal unwritten is merely a wish. A wish is vapor, and vapor cannot feed a family, build a business, or change the world. So tonight, grab your notebook, your tablet, the back of a napkin if that is all you have, and write in bold letters, "My definite chief aim is," then complete the sentence with heart-throbbing specificity. But clarity alone is like a blueprint without a builder. It sits, gathers dust, and mocks your potential. So the second pillar is competence, world-class competence. You must choose the one skill that, once mastered, will make you valuable beyond question, and then attack it with monastic devotion. When I sold door to door, my one skill was the ability to prospect. I practiced scripts aloud while walking, driving, even showering. I recorded myself, cringed at the playback, adjusted tone, pace, inflection, until my words landed like arrows on the target of the prospect's need. Eventually, my phone rang with referrals faster than I could dial out. That is the alchemy of mastery. Private sweat turning into public gold repetition is the mother of skill, and deliberate practice is repetition with purpose. Imagine a concert pianist repeating a single bar until each note drips with precision. Imagine a martial artist striking the same wooden board thousands of times until the grain remembers his hand more than it remembers the tree. You must bring that same, almost fanatical repetition to your chosen craft. Set aside the first golden hour of every day for study, drill, rehearsal. The mind is freshest at dawn. Feed it protein-rich knowledge before the noise of the day serves it sugary distractions. Now beware the thieves of value, distraction, and multitasking. Neuroscience confirms what common sense whispers. The brain cannot truly focus on two demanding tasks at once. It merely toggles, losing milliseconds of attention with each switch, and those milliseconds accumulate into minutes of mediocrity. Therefore, adopt the sacred ritual of deep work. Turn off notifications, close extra tabs, place your phone in another room, set a timer for 90 minutes, and dive like a pearl diver into the single most valuable task you possess. When the timer rings, surface, breathe, stretch, then dive again. In one concentrated day, you will produce more quality than a week of scattered busyness. But skill without character is a sharp knife in reckless hands. So the third pillar is integrity. Integrity means your word is an unbreakable bond. It means you arrive 5 minutes early, you finish what you promise, you own every mistake before it owns you. Markets change, technology evolves, but trust remains the ultimate currency of value. I recall losing a six-figure contract because I refused to shade the truth in a proposal. Yet 2 years later, that same company called back, doubled the fee, and told me, "We knew we could rely on you." Integrity compounds like interest, slow at first, unstoppable later. Next, we must sculpt the discipline of selective availability. Scarcity signals value. Commonness communicates commodity. Consider the diamond, pressurized for eons, hidden in the earth, then cut, polished, and protected behind velvet glass. You cannot stroll into a convenience store and buy one for pocket change. So why have you allowed your time to be cheaper than coffee, your energy more accessible than public Wi-Fi? Starting tonight, establish guardrails. Schedule office hours, batch emails, screen calls, and most importantly, learn the graceful, guilt-free power of no. Every no to trivia is a yes to triumph. Every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Every no to the urgent is a yes to the important. You might ask, Brian, won't people be upset if I reduce my availability? Perhaps, but those who respect you will adjust, and those who do not respect you do not deserve unlimited access. Remember, even the sun rests behind the horizon, even the ocean withdraws at low tide, even the heart pauses between beats. Absence preserves mystery, mystery magnifies value. Now let's ignite the engine of action. Knowledge without action is a statue, perfectly formed yet frozen in place. Therefore, adopt the 2-minute takeoff. The moment you hesitate, count 1, 2, and begin. Write the first sentence, dial the first number, lace the first shoe. Action beats procrastination because action changes your emotional state. A body in motion releases dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, the biochemical cocktail of confidence. But single actions must become systems. The most valuable people I know do not rely on memory or willpower. They rely on checklists, workflows, calendars, automation. They engineer their environment so that success is the default, not the exception. I keep a laminated card in my pocket listing my 6 most valuable tasks. I review it every hour. If I drift, the card snaps me back like a compass needle to true north. Create your own card. Treat it as sacred scripture. Live by it and watch your productivity explode. Let me share a story. Years ago, a young salesperson approached me after a seminar, eyes bright yet shoulders heavy, saying, Brian, I'm making hundreds of calls, attending every networking breakfast, staying late, but my income is stuck. What am I missing? I asked, what percentage of your calls are to your ideal prospect? He stared, paused, admitted he did not know. Together, we defined his ideal. Companies between 5 and 20 million in revenue, located within 50 miles, led by growth-minded CEOs. He returned home, refined his list, cut his call volume in half, but his commissions tripled within 6 months. He became valuable by becoming relevant, and relevance is the twin brother of value. You too must define your ideal audience. Who benefits most from your genius? Who appreciates your style? Who can pay your price? Who will spread your legend? Focus there and let the rest of the world be served by someone else. The river of opportunity is wide. You need only your own current. Another pillar is leverage. Value multiplies when you package your knowledge into scalable forms. Write articles, record podcasts, shoot tutorial videos, design templates, build apps. Each asset works while you sleep, expanding your influence beyond the limits of flesh and time. I once recorded a single audio program in a rented studio on a rainy Saturday. Decades later, it has sold in dozens of languages, paid for multiple homes, and changed lives I will never meet. One Saturday, a lifetime of value, such is the power of leverage. But remember, every asset begins as a draft, and drafts are ugly. Perfectionism is procrastination wearing a tuxedo. Ship the draft, gather feedback, iterate, improve. Value grows through versioning. Now let us address financial intelligence. Money is a shadow of value. When you increase one, the other follows. Adopt the habit of paying yourself first. Invest 10% of every dollar you earn into knowledge, tools, and networks that multiply your value. Invest another 10% into assets that compound while you sleep. Do this relentlessly, and you will escape the gravitational pull of paycheck-to-paycheck living. Your goal is simple. Transform earned income into passive income, transform passive income into freedom, transform freedom into philanthropy. The ultimate measure of value is how many lives you uplift after your own needs are met. And what of health? Your body is the vehicle that delivers your value. A Ferrari engine inside a rusted chassis cannot win the race. So feed your cells with colorful foods, flood your lungs with morning AR, tax your muscles with purposeful strain, and protect your sleep like a dragon guards treasure? Energy is the currency with which you purchase achievement. Guard it, grow it, invest it wisely. Let me whisper a secret. The path from average to amazing is paved with tiny choices repeated until they become habits. Habits are valued on autopilot. Choose a keystone habit: reading 30 minutes, exercising 20 minutes, journaling 10 minutes, planning the day 5 minutes, and defend it for 90 consecutive days. Neuroscientists tell us that repetition carves grooves of myelin in the brain, turning conscious effort into unconscious ease. Once the groove is cut, the habit carries you forward like a river current carries a leaf. Build one habit each quarter, and in 3 years you will be unrecognizable. Yet even as you rise, never succumb to the loneliness of self-absorption. True value blossoms in community. Mentor those behind you, collaborate with those beside you, learn from those ahead of you. Each conversation is a mirror reflecting aspects of yourself you cannot see alone. I have learned as much from taxi drivers and janitors as from CEOs and scholars, because I listen with curious ears searching for transferable principles. Approach every human as a potential teacher, and the world becomes a living library. You may wonder, Brian, what about failure, rejection, ridicule? Let me assure you, rejection is not a verdict on your worth. It is merely a mismatch between your offer and the prospect's need. When a door slams, record the lesson, refine the approach, knock again. My early career was a symphony of slammed doors. Each thud became a drumbeat of determination. Eventually the yeses came, and each yes felt sweeter for the symphony preceding it. Another question. Brian, how do I sustain motivation? Motivation is not a muse that visits. It is a muscle you train. You train it by celebrating small wins, by reviewing written goals morning and night, by surrounding yourself with images of your desired future, by listening to audios that set your mind on fire, by tracking progress in visible charts that remind you daily that effort becomes evidence. And when motivation dips, as it will, lean on discipline, because discipline is motivation in work clothes. Picture this. A sculptor stands before a block of marble. His chisel rises and falls thousands of times. To outsiders, nothing seems to change, but the sculptor sees the angel hidden within. Your habits are your chisel, your days are your strokes, your masterpiece is your life. Chip away the trivial, chip away the negative, chip away the mediocre, and the statue of value will emerge. Now let us travel into the realm of story, because humans think in stories, remember in stories, decide in stories. Craft your origin story, the struggle, the turning point, the breakthrough. Share it authentically and watch connections bloom. I often recount my nights sleeping on a mattress without sheets, my days hitchhiking to dead-end jobs, because those memories remind listeners that greatness is not reserved for the lucky, but for the learners. Your story may include single parenting, chronic illness, cultural barriers. Whatever it is, embrace it, extract the lessons, and present them as a beacon to others still walking that valley. In doing so, you transform pain into value, scars into currency, setbacks into assets. Let us speak of emotional intelligence, the art of reading hearts while you read spreadsheets. People are not logic machines, they are feeling beings who think occasionally. Therefore, cultivate empathy. Listen with your eyes, nod with your heart, reflect emotions before you offer solutions. When a client says, "We're under pressure," do not launch into features. Acknowledge the pressure, ask deeper questions, uncover the hidden wound, and then offer your solution as the balm. The person who understands feelings controls dealings, and control used ethically is value multiplied. Another dimension is innovation. In a world of constant change, resting on past value is the first step toward future irrelevance. Therefore, schedule think time, 1 hour each week of silent brainstorming where you ask, how can I double my value to my company, my clients, my family in the next 12 months? Fill pages with wild ideas. Most will be nonsense, some will be gold. Act on one golden idea each quarter and you will outrun your competition like a cheetah outruns snails. Now I feel the urgency to address purpose, because value divorced from purpose becomes vanity. Purpose answers the why behind the what. When your value serves a cause larger than your ego, educating children, healing disease, protecting nature, advancing faith, you tap into an inexhaustible reservoir of energy. I have spoken on 4 continents in 4 days without fatigue, because my purpose to liberate potential burned brighter than jet lag. Find your why, write it, refine it, speak it aloud daily, and let it fuel every action like rocket fuel ignites ascent. Some of you might think, Brian, I'm too old to reinvent myself, or I'm too young to be taken seriously, or I'm trapped by debt, by obligations, by geography. I say nonsense. Colonel Sanders franchised KFC in his 60s. Mozart composed at 5. A woman in India started school at 92. Technology allows businesses to be run from a bamboo hut. The only prison is the one between your ears, and the key to that prison is the decision to change your narrative. Write a new chapter tonight. Regardless of my past, I choose to become valuable now. Why it's you. And while we're rewriting narratives, release the myth of overnight success. Every overnight triumph you admire hides a decade of invisible grind. Early mornings, lonely weekends, countless iterations. The bamboo tree spends 5 years underground building roots, then grows 80 feet in 6 weeks. The 6 weeks make headlines. The 5 years make success. Commit to your 5-year root building season, and the 6-week growth will astonish the world. Let me share another story. A young programmer once emailed me, frustrated that his side project, an educational app, had only 50 users after 3 months. I asked, "Did you personally speak with the 50? He had not. I urged him to call each user, ask what they loved, what they hated, what they wished. He resisted, then obeyed. 2 months later, his user base hit 500. 6 months later, 50,000. Within 2 years, he sold to a major platform for 7 figures. His code mattered, but his curiosity, the willingness to listen and improve, mattered more. Listening is value delivered in humility's clothing. Now I must address resilience. The path to value is steep and storms will come. Economic downturns, health scares, betrayals, pandemics. When winds howl, weak trees snap, strong trees bend. Cultivate mental flexibility through daily gratitude journaling, through meditation, through the stoic practice of negative visualization, imagining worst-case scenarios to immunize your nerves. I have faced bankruptcy, lawsuits, illness. Each time I asked, what is the lesson? Where is the seed of equal benefit? By reframing adversity as tuition, you convert pain into wisdom, and wisdom is perhaps the highest value of all. Now let us weave everything together into a daily blueprint. Upon waking, declare 3 words: I create value. Drink water, oxygenate lungs with 10 deep breaths, visualize your goals as already achieved, feel the gratitude of future success as present reality. Review your 6 most valuable tasks. Start with the ugliest frog, the task you dread but that drives the biggest result. Eat it before breakfast. Work in 90-minute sprints, separated by movement and hydration. At midday, review progress, adjust tactics, reaffirm intent, end the day by journaling lessons learned, victories earned, and 1 improvement for tomorrow. Repeat for 90 days and watch your identity shift from participant to producer, from passenger to pilot, from available to valuable. Finally, let us look outward. The world right now is in search of leaders, people who see farther, care deeper, and act faster. You become that leader by embodying the principles we have unpacked: clarity, competence, character, selective availability, relentless action, leveraged assets, financial intelligence, robust health, empowering habits, empathetic communication, innovative thinking, purpose-driven resilience, and daily ritual. Embody these, and you will shine like a lighthouse on a stormy coast, drawing ships of opportunity to your harbor. So I ask you, are you ready? Ready to silence the distractions, to choose mastery over mediocrity, to trade popularity for purpose, to say no to the trivial many so you can say yes to the vital few? Why? Are you ready to treat every hour as a seed that can grow into a forest of results? Every conversation as a bridge to impact? Every challenge as a gym for your character? If your answer is yes, then stand with me. Yes, physically stand if you can. Clench your fist, lift your chin, and declare, I will become valuable. I will cultivate excellence. I will live a life that matters. Feel the energy surge from your feet to your fingertips. Feel the old doubts crumble like ancient walls. Feel the new vision blaze like sunrise over mountains. Now take 1 immediate action within the next 60 seconds. Send a message to schedule that skill course, toss the junk food, open the savings account, draft the article, whatever aligns with your vision. Do it now, because value lives in the verb, not the noun. Remember always, the marketplace is impartial. It does not care about your background, accent, age, setbacks. It cares about the value you bring today. Bring it boldly, bring it consistently, bring it ethically, and the world will reward you with riches of finance, respect, influence, and above all, a deep, resonant sense that your life is a gift fully unwrapped. Go forth, my friend, and shine. Become the diamond that no pressure can crack, the laser that no obstacle can resist, the leader whose very presence elevates every room. Your journey from available to valuable starts now. Step, stride, sprint, soar. And I will see you at the summit, celebrating the masterpiece you chiseled from the marble of possibility.